pretty late in the game doing my glutamine and my creatine and got caught up. I'm actually hanging out with Eric from Anabolic Aliens. He's holding the camera. What up? And I forgot to take my creatine and glutamine, and a lot of you guys ask how to take creatine and glutamine, if you mix it with your shake or anything like that. The easiest way to take it is like this.
And spill it everywhere.
You have to make it, actually you have to be pretty strategic, because if you get the scooper wet, then it starts to stick to all the stuff inside. So you have to put it in your mouth and then strategically hit the backs of your teeth so it all comes out of the cup. I know, it's a process.
And make a huge mess while you're at it.
I almost sneezed that everywhere.
Plus that ultra concentrated taste.
No, I swear, it doesn't really taste like anything. It just tastes like I don't know. Does it taste like anything?
Is that a flavor?
No, it's just, I guess it has a chalky taste to it, but I really don't care.
Oh, it's the new DNA, that's why.
Well, the problem is when you're taking, supplements like this and you mix it in your shake, that's more of a process for me. I don't have time to mix all this stuff together. Also, it bothers me when I mix a shake with creatine or glutamine or anything, and then I drink, and then all the water's gone, and I see it all sitting at the bottom. So I think, how much of this bottle is getting? Granted, I did spill some. That's because I was in a bit of a rush. But how much is getting wasted at the bottom of that bottle, really, over time? So that's done. Let's go lift. Before we get started with the workout, we're going to do a warm-up set of 10 repetitions. I like to use 225. It's enough weight for me to be able to focus on engaging my core and pushing through my hips and really nail down my form before I start getting into my heavy working sets. So, nice and easy weight, 10 repetitions, work on your form, and get yourself warmed up for your first set. Set 1 is going to be 315 pounds, going for 6 repetitions. Now my goal with this workout is to get to a pretty heavy weight for my 1 rep at the very end. It's not going to be a 1 rep max, but I want it to be pretty close. And so I'm going to not go over 6 repetitions for any of these sets. Set 2, going for 365 pounds, 6 repetitions once again. Focusing on form, and I'm not using a belt. I will use a belt a little later in the game, but I try my best not to use a belt as much as possible to focus on my own core, focus on just getting my body as strong as possible. As you guys can see with these reps, they're looking pretty smooth, weight's going up nice and easy. Now I'm going to move on to my next set. Set 3, 385 pounds, 6 repetitions once again. So as you guys can see, I'm just going up, 10 to 20 pounds per set. If you're going for a strict power sets to get to your 1 rep max, you wouldn't do this much volume. My goal with these sets is to do a bit more volume, and you can add volume to a workout by either doing more repetitions or adding more sets. And so what I decided to do was to add more sets at low reps to still get the volume aspect here. And what this is going to do is just going to help with my strength overall, my overall endurance as I'm progressing with my strength lifts. So it does have its place. It just depends on what your goal is. My goal obviously is to increase my deadlift max, but I also like to have a bit more of that endurance aspect when I do my circuits. So working on my endurance, working on my strength at the same time. So far, so good. And as you guys can see, set 5, I'm up to 425 pounds, going for 4 reps. Now this is where I'm going to start using my belt. And the reason why I'm starting to use my belt at this level is because when you do start to do a lot more volume with your workouts, you are going to want to use a belt to be able to save your core so you can continue with the rest of your workouts throughout the week, especially if you're deadlifting 3 times a week like I am. I think I might have had a little too tight.
You forget your belt today?
Yeah.
Yeah, whose belt's that?
Yours.
Yeah. Well, I guess you'll be safe for the rest of your life. You don't ever have to worry about your back giving out.
Always be safe.
You'll be supported.
No, seriously.
What's some? On. There's one. There's 2.
Counts as a set.
Now we're moving on to set 6, 435 pounds. Once again, 4 repetitions. Try to keep that form nice and tight throughout all the reps. If you start to see your form break down, that's a good indication that maybe you're going a bit too heavy for the amount of volume that you're doing. And if you're not used to doing this many reps and sets, when you're deadlifting and you start to get pretty heavy, you're going to start to see your form break down just because your body isn't used to all that endurance. So really pay attention to your body, really pay attention to your form, listen to your body, make sure that your core feels okay, make sure that your arms feel okay, your biceps are locked out, and just make sure as you're pulling that weight up on every single rep that your form is pretty spot on. Moving on to set 7, 455 pounds. I've reduced the volume now to 2 repetitions. And, you know, I'm working myself towards my one rep max, which is 510 pounds. And so as I get closer to that number, usually when I'm about 50 to 60 pounds away, I want to keep the rep volume around 2 to 3 repetitions max per set as I work my way up. That way I can still maintain pretty good form, conserve a bit of energy, and be able to pull more and more weight as I get closer and closer.
Get it off! Get it off!
God, it hurts.
On fire!
I hate this belt.
Moving on to set 8, 475 pounds. Right here, just going to focus on 1 solid rep because I still have a few sets left in my circuit.
475 beast. What is that? That's like 96% of your.
Now for set 9 is the last set we're going heavy, 495 for 1 rep. The goal here was just to pull the weight off the ground, release it, and then get ready for my warm down.
Alright, I'm done. I felt really good.
You can just like see the blood shower behind it, like back.
Farted a tiny bit. I don't know if you guys heard it, but I mean, I was squeezing my glutes pretty hard, so whatever came out was a little peep.
Nah, we screamed too loud over it. We ruined it for you.
Good set. Now, I said I was doing 10 sets today, so I need to do 1 more set, but I'm gonna go light. So this is where the belt was.
Can you see?
Right about there. Is it all the way around?
Yeah, it is.
So finally, guys, set 10, 225 pounds, 10 repetitions. You're going to end this workout the same way you started it. I mean, I pretty much could have ended it with the last set, but I said I was doing 10 sets, so I decided that I would just break it down to 225. I mean, that 495 felt pretty heavy. My body was pretty fatigued. There was no reason to try to bump the weight up a little more to go for another 1 rep on my 10th set. So I figure go for a nice light set of 225 for 10 repetitions. Just give my body a little more work without having to worry about injuring myself.
I'm not gonna lie, that felt kind of heavy. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. If you haven't made your free profile yet on muscularstrength.com, be sure to head over there and check it out. What's your maximum output?